How I approach fitness. What is the difference between these two pictures? And what is the difference between this? In order to have this, you must do all of these. Same way for the human body. In order to have this, you must do these. Today, I was thinking about the similarities between the human body and a building or a house. As I mentioned in several of my videos that I am not a doctor or have a degree in the medical field. I study architecture, even though at the moment I'm not practicing it, but occasionally I do freelance here and there. So the point here for this video is to illustrate to you how I approach fitness. When I look at the human body, within fitness, I think about constructing a building. Before you can have all of the fancy finished interior of a building, you have to start with all the dirty stuff. The stuff most people don't like to do, stuff most people don't think much about, the foundation, framing, the stuff that hold the building together. The most important stuff or things. In constructing a building, one must start with the foundation. There are many types of foundation depending on where you will be putting the building. I don't want to get too much into it because there are different types of foundation. And most importantly, you cannot just put any type of foundation anywhere without knowing the type of soil the building will be placed on. The purpose of a foundation is to transfer the weight of the building to the ground. If a foundation is not stable and unable to hold what will be on it, the building pretty much, then the building will fall. We don't want that. In the human body, the foundation into fitness or basic life function is the core. Without proper core sturdiness, your ability for formal-like function is limited. Depend on your abilities or current mobility. You must start fixing or strengthening your core. You cannot start lifting heavy weights or do fancy, crazy movements for a physique that you want to achieve if you don't have proper core stabilization. Sometimes there are basic movements that you can do to achieve a goal instead of doing some crazy movements. When it comes to core control, if your foundation, feet position to the ground, is not sturdy, the exercise that you are doing or will be doing is useless. Yes, your body is moving, but are you doing the movement correctly to achieve your goal? The way you position your feet to the ground or on the machine, depending on the type of exercise you're doing, it is important to the movement that you are doing. If your feet are in a position where it is not keeping the rest of your body in a neutral position or sturdy, let's say, and your core is not tight or activated, then you are not doing the exercise to its full capability. You want to be able to transfer the load to where you intended it to go. This may sound kind of silly, but that's the way I'm comparing my exercises into building a house. Your core and your feet should counterbalance the weight that you are lifting or moving. You don't want your entire body to move in the same position as the weight that you are lifting. Being stable, your core should be able to counterbalance the weight, and therefore the load or weight should be able to transfer to the muscle that you intended it to go. If your body is moving while you are doing the exercise, with the exception of the particular muscles that you want to move. When I said if your body is moving around while you are doing the exercise, I don't mean your entire body. If you're doing bicep curls, standing, your body should be stable on the ground. Your oblique and your entire body should not be moving, with the exception of your arms lifting the weight. With that being said, I just wanted to make this clear. If your body is moving around while you are doing the exercise, the load is being transferred in many places, then after weeks of, let's say, weeks of trying to achieve certain goals, you will not see much improvement. Why do you think is that? Because the exercise that you were doing is spreading to areas you were not intended to go. So therefore, the goal or the muscles you were trying to improve is not, the load is not transferring to that particular muscle. Once you have built your core strength, practice different feet stance with light weights. Little at a time, increase the weight. If the exercise that you are doing is in a seated position, make sure your abdominal remain tight throughout the movement. If the exercise that you are doing is in a standing position, your body needs to be positioned in a way that will prevent you from moving around. Once your body is locked, which pretty much your core, position your feet in a way that will keep your entire body stable. There are many exercises that one can do to help them improve with their core stability. There is beginner to advanced. You must know your abilities before you can move to advanced version. Don't do certain exercises that just because it looks cool. As much as exercising is to improve the body, it can also hurt you, possibly kill you too. Some of you may know about my sciatic experience. I didn't get that from doing exercise. I was at home, and it's a completely different story, but it's not from doing exercise. After documenting my post-sciatic issues, now I am happier that I did. Some of my struggles and the self-therapy that I did to improve some of my problems after the incident have made me realize how far I've come. Sometimes the mind thinks it can do something, but the body is saying otherwise. After my sciatic encounter, I had to start from scratch with my fitness. Some of my mobilities was limited. Even though I thought that I could do them, exercises that I've done many times before. Whatever issues that I had after the nerve pain, I create a step-by-step basic functional exercise and therapy to help me get back to where I once was. Once I reach each goal based on importance, I've decided to eliminate certain exercises in my program because I was facing with other problems. I'm still exercising regularly. I've improved my physique quite well despite some issues, but I don't overdo it. I stick with the basic principles of core, balance, and stabilization. The point here, if you want an awesome physique, you have to start with the basics. The basic core and stabilization training is what will help you obtain the physique that you want. With all of these things being said, even though I will not go into into it too much because it is another huge topic within itself. The pre-basic training to core and body stabilization is nutrition. Many of you may have seen me post on my Instagram account, sometimes Facebook. I don't really post that much on Facebook about what I am eating, or what you may have seen, or you may have seen some videos where I'm either cooking or just talking about my meal. Well, in order to obtain and maintain a good physique, you must fuel the body with proper nutrition. I spent about, let's say, 1 to 2% of my time in the gym, if not less. The remainder of 98 to 99% of my time is spent outside the gym. What I put in my body is more important than lifting the weight. Yes, you need to be able to lubricate the joints by doing exercises. If you don't move, if you don't move the joints and the body regularly, you will lose most of your mobility. If you want to reach that perfect physique, proper nutrition is required. It is the key. So, like I said, I don't want to go too much into it, but I just want to bring this up. I hope this self-approach to fitness gives you another perspective in fitness. This is my humble opinion. Feel free to correct me with reasons. Thank you. And I hope it helps. Thanks for watching.